Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to Sixx Daze. I am Bob Sixx. Today we're going to cast the second stone because the first stone's already been cast. You know, I've addressed religion before and beliefs and stuff like that, and I try not to go out to attack people or sound like I'm attacking people, but I have said on numerous occasions that if you do it first, I feel the need to say something back. A friend of mine that I've known, I guess since I was 17, fairly level-headed person, doesn't normally say, for lack of a better phrase, dumb shit. But she did the other day on Facebook, made a post. She had posted a link to an article about how disrespectful and kids are these days and how they don't care about anything but themselves and all that stuff. And then down in the comments, she said that she thinks a lot of it, and I'm going to paraphrase because I stopped reading almost immediately, that it most likely has to do with children who are not raised in a religious home. Somebody else jumped on her bandwagon and said, I agree. Because you have to believe in something and blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. All parents, regardless of their religious views, their ethnicity, tend to bring their children up only looking out for number one. Giving them a lot of things that instead of making them work for it, they just give it to them. So they start thinking that the world owes them something. Has nothing at all to do with the religion, and to say something so narrow-minded and ignorant just befuddles me. I wouldn't be surprised if I read it somewhere on the internet, but this was a friend that I've known for a long time. Very irresponsible to say some shit like that. Now, there are people, also has nothing to do with religion, ethnicity, or anything like that, that bring their children up to work the system because that's how they survive. They work the system. Welfare is out of control. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think anyone on welfare should be allowed to vote. And the reason for that is it's really easy to control people on welfare. Oh, well, one of my biggest campaign points is that I am going to increase welfare benefits and Medicaid, and I'm just going to give you every goddamn thing under the sun. Well, if those people weren't allowed to vote, that part would get taken out right off the bat. I also hear a lot of people complaining about drug testing for welfare recipients. I have to be drug tested to work the job that supplies the money that supplies the welfare benefits. So saying that welfare recipients shouldn't be drug tested, that is the wrong answer. That's most likely some shit stirred up by just people who are in the wrong frame of mind. Their heart's in the right place, but they're just not thinking about it real hard. I'll word it that way. That way I'm not attacking anyone specific. And probably those that are welfare recipients that are on drugs, they don't think they should be tested. So my theory on why kids grow up, and this is only theory, I have multiple theories on why children, or this generation is the way they are. A lot of it has to do with, and it didn't just happen overnight, it's been happening. Our grandparents, who actually had shit rough, tried to give their kids a little bit better, and even though it was rough, it was probably better than what they had. And then our grandparents tried to provide better for their children than they had. Yes, it was still rough, but it instilled values. You know, drive to survive. And then our parents tried to provide a better life for us than they had. And you see how it just snowballs into where it's at now? Me and my wife worked really hard not to do that with our kids, not to give them everything, and to make them work for shit and earn shit and learn the value of a dollar, hard work. Both of our kids grew up to be good hard workers. They have self-drive, self-discipline, and manners. See, they're part of this generation. But they both have manners when out in public. They show common courtesy to everyone, unless someone gives them reason not to. So, I don't believe in God. We've been over that before, but so my wife and I together raised our children pretty much the same way. My wife is religious. We have different views, but we both have pretty much the same values as far as working for shit, earning, and making your way through life. And we instilled that in our children. So religion has nothing to do with that. We did start our children off in the church because I think church is good for kids, to help give them a sense of belonging and to teach them, good values. Because once our kids got old enough to realize just how much phony shit was going on in the church, they didn't want to go back. And I didn't make them go back. So, it's a little late for this generation. We're doing it with our granddaughter, raising her, and she uses her manners. She says please and thank you, especially out in public. She's well behaved in public. So it has nothing to do with religion or anything like that. It has to do with individuals and the way they were brought up. My mom couldn't get welfare because they said she made a little too much money, but if she'd squirt out another pup, she'd qualify. Right after my wife had our son, she was no longer working. I lost a good paying job and I went to work at a shitty paying job. We were way below the poverty line. And when she went to apply for food stamps, just so we could have some help, I think they prorated her at like $12 or $13 and then told her she'd come back and get reevaluated. The hell are you going to buy with $12 or $13? I could bum that off someone. I could find that somewhere. What a joke. People who actually need it, who are not trying to abuse the system, can't get it when they need it. But those who know how to play the system, they're all over that shit. They know the right things to say, the right time to go, and the right blah, 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 yickety, yak, yak. They're also the ones that are in the store bitching about the cost of food. What? You're not paying for it. You don't have any right at all to complain about what food costs. You're in there getting 2 grocery carts full of food. I can't do that. Sometimes, when it's towards that end of the month, you'll get yourself 2 carts of food and one of your friends or your mama or someone 2 carts of food. 4 carts of food? There's no way in hell I could do that. So, that's where the real problem lies. People, this generation being raised that they're owed something. Life can be cruel, and a lot of times it is. But life don't owe you a goddamn thing. You have to go out and earn it. You have to make it happen. Sitting at home drawing a welfare check, getting a job, working just long enough so you can get fired and draw unemployment, that's bullshit is what that is. Let me clarify something. I'm not totally against welfare, because the people who really need it, they would be happy with a couple of $100 a month, because that could put some food in the bellies of their family. Those people that are drawing $1,300 and better a month, that's bullshit. That's why those people are being that way. That's also not an ethnicity. Has nothing to do with religion. That has to do with learning to play the system, and this is much easier than working a job. I was brought up to work and work hard. I've been working since I was 12 years old. And I mean working on my own to make money, not busting ass at home doing what I was supposed to do. That doesn't count. So to wrap this all up, it is not a religious standpoint. It's not ethnicity. It's not a location. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with the way that this generation has been brought up. So if you've got young kids, you need to be telling them the world don't owe you shit. You got to get out there and get it. You've got to hustle to make it. So if you disagree with me, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your logic behind this. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button or give it a thumbs down. I'm good with that too. Some sort of reaction. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button right over there. Until next time, have a great day. Make someone laugh if you can. I am Bob Sixx.